Kylie Mans just could not bring this team towards the promised land.
Una pong nag-serve ang Army Lady Troopers and they score their first point also here in the PSL All Pinoy Conference.
Nurse Iratay is the skipper for Generika Army. She is also the oldest player for this roster. At 34 years old, continues to be at the top of her game, and she will be severely challenged with the absence of ace setter Tina Salak. 2 straight points for the orange shirts.
Fitting na ibigay mo sa kanya yung unang unang pagsaserve. 2-0 in favor of the Army Lady Troopers. That's Generika. Iratay, siya pa rin po nag-serve, and that's an ace. That's an ace there.
Service reception seems to be a problem for Coach Roger and the rest of PLDT. There's Iratay with 3 quick points off her serve.
Siya pa rin po ang papalo para dito sa Ladies in Orange. That's a donut hole there. Good job by De Leon.
Easy Angata once again up to the task. Ruby De Leon scoring her first point off the dump. Ruby De Leon is one of 2 ace setters for Coach Roger Garayab. The other force, Jem Ferrer, who saw action in that game versus Cagayan. Dahil si Ruby De Leon ay merong isang on-call duty na tinapos para sa isa pang koponan.
Alam mo itong mga to talagang fit na fit sa dami ng nilalaroan
Alam mo si Rachel Daki sa kasing Jovelyn Gonzaga. Ang papayat sobra.
Itong si Sue Roses. Lean na lean din. Getting her first one as well.
Balikat pa lang pamato na.
Oo naman. Ang haba ng reach, ang haba ng galamay, and they're only down by 1. Pabor po pa rin ang score sa Army, 3-2.
Sabi ng Ruby, hindi papayatan yan, patalinuhan yan.
Patibayan, patalinuhan, exactly. Here we go. Power attackers, Manatikla, nadepensahan. We'll try again, De Leon, back to Manatikla. A great for defense coming from the Army. Sue. It's a great rally we're watching right now.
Manatikla so far.
Everyone trying to keep that ball alive from both sides. Going to the back. De Leon will set again. Manatikla will try. It's a free ball, but that point will go to the Orange Ladies.
Iratay once again making sure that that ball stays alive, able to attack, able to get that rally going. Remember that normally it's Tina Salak doing that job for Generika Army, but she will not be on deck for Generika all tournament long. Kasama ang Carolino sisters, they will be training for probably an upgrade in ranking.
Yun.
At umaasa sila na even without them, mananatili ang kanilang pamamayani dito sa PSL.
Oh, so far, so good. For the Army Lady Troopers, they're up 4-2. Pero hindi bibitaw dito ang power attackers. Here we go. Quick one. Pero medyo mababa yata para kay Balse yun.
At not over. They have to get used to Urs Iratay. Tina Salak stands almost 6 feet. And normally when you have a very tall setter, kasamang Chiki, ang bigat ng advantage dyan dahil konting pitik, angat na ang bola sa net. Urs Iratay has to combine well with Mary Jean Balse and the rest of the power attackers coming from Generika Army.
It's 3 serving 4. Ball's in. Iratay will set. Finding an open zone 1 was Gonzaga.
I believe that Jovelyn Gonzaga is the youngest player in the national team. And that last sequence, an outside hitter who is supreme in her attacking ways, just illustrates on why she deserves a spot sa ating national team.
5 serving 3. That's Bautista for the Army Lady Troopers. Great attack. Again, coming from Manatikla. At isa na lang po ang inahabol dito ng power attackers.
Power attackers have played 9 sets in their first 2 matches. As I mentioned earlier, this will be the 3rd straight match in the last 7 days. They played Wednesday, so action Sunday, and again on a Wednesday. Last Wednesday na ito ng Mayo, kasamang Chiki. Sila ay muling sasabak.
May 28 indeed, and finding it down the line. Sue Roses pumuntos na naman para sa PLDT, and we are tied at 5, Coach Ronnie.
I thought that was tight, but Ruby De Leon found her space to get that ball to Sue Roses. Akala ko magko-cross court. Down the line winner, pinakawalan ni Sue Roses.
Alam mo, maganda nabanggit mo yan, kasi sapagkat nung unang laro ng PLDT, nung hindi sila pinalad, Sue Roses kept on going cross court.
Pero ito naman, excellent two-man wall para dito sa Generika Army. This has got to happen without Tina Salak, Nelgin Balse, and Nene Bautista have to work doubly hard in creating the tower on that defensive end pagdating dyan sa bakbakan sa net.
6 serving 5. Gonzaga serving for the Army. Sila ang may abante ng isa. Latigay. Great net defense coming from the ladies in orange. Quick one
Very
there.
low for Mary Jean Balse.
It's going to be a free ball. Iratay will set. Oh, open zone 1 para kay Dakis.
I believe it has been 7 years since I started covering Rachel Dakis.
Ganun
She used
katagal
to
na.
play for the FAU Lady Tamaraws. 7 years after, she is not only one of the most popular players in the country right now, but she is one of the best players in the country still up to this point.
Humusay
of her career.
lalo.
Kasi nagkaroon nga ng mga liga pagkatapos
Okay.
ng collegiate leagues.
So hindi
Timing,
hindi na bakante.
Hindi na bakante. Napakaswerte nitong
Yes,
ating mga manlalaro who made it to the commercial leagues after playing in the collegiate wars.
And the orange ladies made it to the first technical timeout. They're up 8-5. We'll be right back.
The secret that sets everything perfect. Crafted with passion to turn moments into delightful memories. Celebrations are certainly filled with romance and elegance.
Yung puntahan ni Coach Ronnie, I turn you over to Carla Aguas.
Thanks, Chicky. A confident play will keep the doctor away ba? Well, I spoke to the dynamic duo Roses and Benting earlier, and sabi nila their advantage for today's game is their quickness and their defense. Para sa kanila, there's no point in being pressured. Ingat lang daw sa plays. Back to you guys.
Carla, may tanong ako sa iyo.
Go ahead, Coach.
Pwede ba natin malaman kung bakit Batman and Superman
Yan.
ang
Well,
nakalagay sa
actually-
playing wear nitong si Benting at itong
Yes,
si Sue Roses?
Coach. Kasi actually, if you read it, it's Superman.
Okay.
And then si Batman. Best friends daw silang superheroes. At si Benting at si Roses, dynamic duo talaga sa
Okay,
team.
abangan natin yan. Kasama si
Wow.
Stanley. Kapit na yan, The Avengers.
Oh, lalo dito
Batman
eh.
versus Superman.
Captain Marvel lang wala.
Ay, nakita ko.
Nakita mo?
Naglalaro sa kabilang league.
Yun. 8-6.
Tumatawid ka doon.
Pag may time.
Tawi ka.
Tawid-tawid lang pag may time.
Okay.
Ito, PLDT Power Attackers inching their way in. Coach Ronnie, isa na lang ang abante rito ng Army Lady Troopers. 8-7 ang ating
Oo,
score.
tinitingnan ko, mamaya tatungin natin kay Carla kung meron ding moniker si Coach Roger Gurayan.
Meron kaya?
Pero
Alamin natin,
kailangan malumanay ang pagtanong natin para malumanay din si Coach
Binansagan
Roger.
mo na siya ng
Commander.
Commander.
Oo.
Alam mo ba nung opening day,
Gabi na, Commander.
siya nagbansag sa set number 5 as set ng nervyusan.
Totoo naman yun. Totoo naman. Heel. Diba? Duelo sa dulo.
Yun. 1 to 15 lang yun eh.
Ako,
8-8.
Chiki. 3-point run para dito sa
That's right.
PLDT.
Balse, siya ang makikredit din sa point na yun para dito sa Generika Army Lady Troopers. They're up 9-8.
Excellent setup by Iratay for Mary Jean Balse. That seems to be the power along that middle hitting position. Mary Jean Balse making sure that they stay ahead. 9 serving 8 here in the first set.
Siya pa rin po magsaserve dito sa Ladies in Orange. Quick. Ganda sana gagawin ni Galeon. Kaso na-depensahan. Malakas ang palo. Oh, it's a check ball. Check ball. So the point will go to the Power Attackers. Tabla po muli tayo at 9-all.
I was talking about Rachel Andakis earlier. How I saw her start her career playing for the FAU Lady Tamaraws. But I have to go back a few years earlier, as I also had the chance to cover Venus Bernal and Merjin Basse playing beautiful music for the UST Lady Tigers. And a few years after, Merjin Basse is now turning 31 years old on May 31st kasamang Chiki.
Oh, advance happy birthday.
Maybe a fitting birthday gift, an early birthday present para dito kay Mary Jean Basse.
Sabado na yan. And
Sabado night.
That's right. Don't look now. The Power Attackers are up. They're up by 2, 11-9. After being down 8-5 in the
Sabi
first
nga ni
technical timeout.
Carla kanina kasamang Chiki, quickness and defense. So that means quickness and overall defense. Floor defense, net defense, talk about reception, talk about digs. Components na hinahanap ni Coach Rogers, they prepared for the two-time defending champions.
Great dig there coming from Rosses. It's going to be a free ball. Iratay will set. Oh, it's out. And too much muscle behind the spike of Dakis.
Had the right idea, went deep found the space, but instead they found themselves 3 points behind at this stage of the match. 12 serving 9, 4 straight points coming from the White Shirts.
Great rally here coming from the power attackers. And they will try to increase their lead. That's long, or it's in. Finding the end of the line. That's Soriano giving PLDT their 13 points.
They were still behind 8-6. First technical timeout since that time. Several teams also coming from that national stint which played in Thailand. If I'm not mistaken, about a month ago. So matagal-tagal na tuloy-tuloy yung high-level action na nilalaruan nila Gonzaga, Rachel Andakis, Sue Roses, and sometimes the body, the grind takes its toll.
Yes.
Diba minsan simpleng routine action niinda mo dahil sa kakulangan ng pahinga. But these are still young players. They are in the prime of their health. Kaya yun nga, konting yelo, konting kuskus, ayos.
Ayos. And so far, so good for Rachel Andakis, but not for her team because they are down by 4 points. Still up are the PLDT Home Devolution Power Attackers. 14-10. Oh, and that's a service error, giving a free point to the Army Lady Troopers.
We talked about the absence of the Carolina sisters, Tina Salak, and of course Joan Bunag, but they gained Christine Agno, who is one of the best receivers in the country right now, and that will be good for their defense as she tries to solidify the floor defense for Generika.
Very crucial indeed is the floor defense, especially if you have great attackers and great hitters.
Like that one.
Exactly. Play continues. Pantone will go to Banantikla. Great net defense. And credit that point to the Army Lady Troopers.
And I believe that Lizzie Ann Pantone is seeing a mirror image of herself in Christine Agno.
Okay.
For the longest time, Lizzie Ann Gata Pantone was supreme in terms of being the best libero in the country. But then you have Jonella, you have Christine Agno. Suddenly, it's a crowded party being the best libero in the country.
But would you rather have a lot of material, Coach Ronnie, than lack of material?
I'd rather have more weapons than a roster that is handicapped, a roster that is wanting in several positions.
And then find the right combination.
Yan.
Right.
Yan ang hamon dito kay Coach Roger and the rest of the coaches who have just loaded up sa kanilang roster depth.
Our score 15-13, PLDT still up by 2, and you mentioned that because Coach Roger said, and I would quote him, that they're a very tired team because most of his players have day jobs and they don't really get to practice that often, but they prepared really hard for this game.
Alam mo, kasamang Chiki, sama mo na tayo dyan.
Oh yes.
Yan ang ating reality check na tinatawag. But this is the passion
Yes.
for Coach Roger and the rest of these ladies. And for as long as they get to set foot in this hard court, then they will compete.
Oh.
Minsan nga lang may kakulangan, pero minsan naiibsan ng kagustuhan.
If you love the sport,
Yes, yung kakulangan.
you'll forget everything else. I agree with you.
Good push coming from Sue Roses.
Here we go. Great net defense. Ball is still alive.
Oops.
And nobody went for that ball.
Coach Rigo de Guzman pointing to Mary Jean Balse. Communication was absent.
Timeout. It has been PLDT volleyball. They're up, Coach Ronnie, 16-13.
Down at 6, serving 8. Suddenly winning 10 of the last 15 rallies. And as a result, it's a huge turnaround ngayon. Lamang ng 3. Late here in the first set. Sue Roses mishandling that last ball. Ruby De Leon failing to set up Sue Roses. Could be one final push kasamang Chiki para dito sa Generika Army.
Let's see. Nerissa Bautista on deck to serve for the Army Lady Troopers. They're down 2. That's 14 serving 6. 16 rather. Benting defended well at the net. Quick one. Ball is still alive. They'll try again. De Leon will go to Benting. And Batman will be credited at that point.
Back to the bat cave para dito kay Yelay Benting. Once upon a time, the super lady para sa Adamson Lady Falcons used to play for Coach Dulce Pante.
The dynamic duo sharing the floor already, Coach Ron.
Oo. Isa may motor, isa naman may airspace. May Batmobile yung isa.
And so far, the dynamic duo are doing good for PLDT. They're up 17-14.
But I like the floor defense really of PLDT. At At ang kanilang glue guy, walang iba kundi si Ruby De Leon. Making
Yes.
sure at ang kanyang pagtitimon ay matamis, epektibo at higit sa lahat malutong para kay Coach Commander Roger Coraya.
Latigay gives PLDT their 18th point. But the Army Lady Troopers is still down by 14. Let's try to listen in on Sergeant Rico.
Ba't mo ibigay dito? Tres na. Eh, ang blocker nandito, nag-iisa na to. Ba't mo dito? Pinagpipilitan mo, tatlo na yung blocker doon. Eh, ito dito, nandito.
Ni Coach Roger, yung floor defense nila, and they're using also their youth, which will aid their quickness and trying to make sure that they have that advantage in terms of digging, receiving, and getting to the next ball. Ganda rin ang net defense dito ng PLDT.
Sue. Ball goes back to the side of the Army Lady Troopers. Power attackers will try a free ball. Oh, but that turned into gold for Sue Roses.
And that is the second time that this has happened. Nobody able to get to that biggest lead of the first set already para dito sa white shirts. 19 serving 14. Yalay Binting looking to put the exclamation point as she tries to push PLDT to the 20-point level.
And this is in spite of having 2 service errors, Coach Ronnie, itong power attackers.
Pero marami rin na defensive errors naman or lapses itong Generika.
Yun lang on the other side, you know? That's right. De Leon will go to Roses.
That's perfect.
Check ball.
How many times have we seen these two pairs combine to execute something that is hard to defend? Ruby De Leon outplaying Ers Iratay so far here in the first set.
2014 power attackers up. Ball still alive. Mary Jean Balse struggling in set number 1. Superman wanting to go down the line, however it goes out.
What PLDT has done is smart. Itong si Mary Jean Balse. And the one who was stamped her class over Mary Jean Balse, Sasa de Banadera. Excellent middle blocker right now for Coach Roger.
15 serving 20. De Banadera.
Nice hand time.
Trying to stay there in midair. De Leon will set again. Latigay. It's out. And that's a 16th point of the Army Lady Troopers. Coach Roger trying to talk to us and to the officials rather behind us. Never runs out of antics. That's Coach Roger.
Whatever works and whatever it takes. Oh, good
Smart
timing.
play.
Perfect timing coming from Rachel Landakis. Isang regalo binigay dito ng PLDT. Kinuha naman ni Rachel Landakis yung aginaldong ibinigay ng PLDT. Chances are sometimes when you stack it, there is a snowball effect that tends to hurt your chances of closing out a set.
Folks, Philippine Superliga All-Filipino Conference is presented by PLDT Home DSL. Limitless sharing with the family-size connection of PLDT Home DSL, the #1 home broadband. And that is the home of Latigay, finding an open spot and scoring again for PLDT.
And that has been a donut in the floor defense of Generika Army all set long. And it hurt their chances of narrowing the gap. They're only behind by 3 now. PLDT is on top by 4, 21-17.
Slow start for the power attackers, but after the first technical timeout, it has been power attackers all the way. But this time around, the point, our officials will clarify with our linesmen here. If the point will go to the...
Stay in the first set, but they will fall behind by 5 points. 22-17 is the count.
And Superman on deck to serve. That's Sue Roses. Putting in the numbers already in the first set. 5-point lead for the power attackers. Dakis will score for the Army Lady Troopers.
Difficult. But Rachel Dakis getting the job done. They're still alive, but they're behind by 4 as PLDT is only 3 points away from closing out set number 1.
Balse will serve for Generika. 18 serving 22. Oh, that's an ace for Balse.
They started out with 3 consecutive points off the service of Ers Iratay. Let's see if this will also be the case for the Army, the Troopers, as they try to rebound from a 5-point deficit earlier.
19 serving 22. That's still Balse. Great reception by Benting. Latigay. Again, scoring for the power attackers.
Same area. Could be area 51. That's hurting the Army. Down by 4 at 23-19, Chiki.
I like that, area 51.
Time and again, PLDT has gone to that spot. No one able to build that quick reaction time to be able to handle, make a dig, and keep that ball alive.
De Vanadera, siya po nag-serve for PLDT. They're up 23-19. Open zone 1. Yun po tinarget ni Dakis.
Offense seems not to be a problem for the orange shirts. Floor defense is the huge problem for Coach Rico de Guzman and the rest of his troopers.
But they can't keep on exchanging points here, Coach Ronnie.
That's correct.
Because it's a quote-unquote comfortable 3-point lead if you keep on exchanging points for PLDT. Latigay. Oh, smart move. But great move from Soriano as well. Latigay again. That's great net defense from the Army.
Jackie Alarca supplying that kill block. And this will put pressure on PLDT as Coach Roger calls timeout. Their lead only sliced to 2 points.
Let's listen to the commander.
Ayan, dyan lahat sa dulo yan.
At in-identify ni Coach Roger Gurayan kung saan yung spasyo na pwede silang umatake. This was the last point coming from Rachel Dakis. But this was the last point for the Army as Alarca had that nice rejection of Lula Tigay.
And I like what Latigay and Soriano told the coach. Sige, coach. We'll do it. Yes, commander. They're still up, 23-21. Latigay. Dakis was there. Rally continues.
Oh. Good adjustment coming from Sue Roses.
Pantone. Great dig. Latigay once more. I like it when they receive that spike. It's with a smile.
Sinasabi ni Coach Roger dito sa sideline. Sinabi ng dalin sa gitna. Off speed coming from Gonzaga.
Chow sa the net. Great save by Pantone. Free ball. Gonzalez will set. Oh, Bentino was second late on that save.
It was 23-19. 3 big points created by Generika Army, and this is experience working wonders right now for Rachel Dakis and company.
And the defending champs will not buckle under pressure.
Ito yung experience na tinatawag.
Oh, yeah.
Under duress, under siege, they will not crumble easily.
Latigay going to the back. Again, I like what you mentioned. They're not going to the middle. Latigay.
Not over.
Defended well, that's right.
Gonzalez has done an excellent job stepping up to the plate. Erciratay had her moments, but the entry of Gonzalez has definitely turned things around once more for for Generika Army.
4 straight points for the Army Lady Troopers, and we are tied at 23. They'll go to Sue. Generika, oh, credit that point to number 14, that's Bautista.
Once again, Gonzalez making the right decision. Rachel Dakis applauding Coach Rico de Guzman up from his seat as Coach Roger Gurayan looks helplessly as he is left with no timeouts.
That's right.
Here in the first set. Sinabi naman niya kanina.
We heard that in their last huddle. They couldn't do anything. Chance here for Army to close it. Oops! Great dive from Pantone. Sue.
Buhay pa.
Chows at the net, and we are tied at 24. Wow!
Sue Rosas making something out of nothing kasama Chiki. I thought that was a huge gamble coming from Ruby De Leon, but Sue Rosas anticipated that ball. And Sue Rosas will keep PLDT alive. This allowing Generika Army from having that 5-point cluster to nail the first set.
Oh, she picked up from where she left off.
Exactly.
Scored 20 points, 17 on attacks in their last game. Let's see if Army can take the lead. Great net defense by PLDT. Chance here for the power attackers to earn a point. Oops. Oh, great dive. Great action we're seeing here.
Not over.
Oh.
Oh,
Point.
touch ball.
But I had the same view as well. But that point goes to the power attackers. So,
Yun ang nasilip ko, Chicks eh.
exactly, because it's right in front of us. 25, serving 24. Will the power attackers get set number 1? We'll find out. This is their chance. Benting. Gonzalez will set. Su. Oops. Oh. Great move by Batman. Dakis. Benting again.
Excellent defense by Gonzaga.
Bautista going to the
Finally. I was about to say, Nene Bautista is already winded, pero Alarca minamasahe. Si Nene Bautista, kaya mo yan, Ne. Kaya mo yan. Gonzalez time and again, going to Nene Bautista, who finally delivers for the Army Troopers.
And you could see Nene Bautista hopping and puffing a bit.
Oo naman, ilang beses yun, ilang talon yun.
In that same spot.
May talon, may lundag,
In that same
may
spot.
lukso.
Talon, lundag, lukso.
Walang buwelo, chicks eh.
Tied at 25. Extended set here in set number 1. Gonzalez. Gonzaga. Great dive from Dakis. Gonzaga again.
Good dig by De Banadera.
Gonzalez.
That's overreaching.
That's right. That point goes to PLDT.
Oh, natawagan ng carry itong si Gonzalez. Yun ang kaibahan pag may salak ka kasamang checking. Pag may
Taller
salak,
setter.
talagang
One-hand set.
eksakto ang bigay niya. Oh.
Can do a one-hand set.
Yeah, exactly. Another set point for PLDT. Second off this first set.
Bautista again. Great dig by Pantone. Benting.
Good.
Oh.
Tail block once again coming from Gonzaga. A much improved Jovelyn Gonzaga, showing us her well-rounded game. Not only a superior attacker, but more importantly, a very good package on the defensive end.
We are tied at 26 on deck to serve number 6. That's Jacqueline Alarca.
Hindi ako magtataka kung abutin ng Webes ito.
Oh.
First set pa lang.
I don't mind. As long as it's a good game, I don't mind. Sue. And that point will go to the power attackers.
Third set point for PLDT versus one set point held earlier by the Army. Chacha Moralde, the designated setter, coming in for Charo Soriano.
So the Chas are replacing each other.
Tama, yung
Chacha
isa,
Moralde and Charo Soriano.
Chacha for Cha.
That's right. 27 serving 26. Power attackers up by 1. Oh, at that point, or that set rather, it goes to PLDT 28-26. They've already reached the extended set. Look at those numbers, Coach Ronnie. PLDT home power attackers lording it over the Army Lady Troopers.
Superior offense, and even if they were outshined by Generika in terms of net defense, I thought that their steadiness in the clutch enabled them to overcome the experience factor, which definitely favors Generika Army. You have Sue Roses, who had definitely the leading scorer.
Is what Sergeant Rico prescribed to the girls. They need to work on place. Huwag niyong pahirapan ang laro. Go at your speed, not PLDTs. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Carla. Play within your element. Am I right?
Alam ko na kasi para sa PLDT kasamang Chiki, mabigat ang MBPS.
Oh, yes.
Oo, mabigat ang speed.
Yes.
Oo,
very
talagang-
quick, very quick. Buffering is not long.
Para naman sa troopers, bombahin na natin yan. Oo, fire at will.
Press that trigger.
Yes. Teka.
Trigger of attack.
Yeah.
Trigger of
Hindi
attack.
pwedeng trigger happy ba Jack Alarca?
Oh, yes.
Once again, with two aching knees, able to get that ball in their favor. Tignan natin, maganda na naman na simula rito ng Generika Army kasamang Chiki. Subalit ang storyline ba ay mag-iiba o maitutuloy-tuloy nila itong kanilang magandang simula.
The ladies in orange, they're up 1-0. Make that 2-0 here in set number 2. This is how set number 1 started, Coach Ronnie.
I remember also, Chiki, para dito sa Army Troopers, maski sa nakalipas na first conference, I think there were about 2 or 3 games sa ating elimination round battle. Puro talo sila sa first set. Tapos biglang dediretsuhin nila yung kalaban at makukuha nila yung mga matches in 4 sets. But this time, new setter in tow para dito sa white shirts, Jem Ferrer taking over Ruby De Leon. Jem Ferrer and Charo Soriano once upon a time played for the longest time for the Ateneo Lady Eagles. Ito yung Fab 5 na tinatawag kung di ako nagkakamali para sa Lady Eagles ng Ateneo.
Not long ago, Coach, no?
Not long ago.
Not long,
Recent
not long ago.
Oo, recent yan.
And you mentioned that as Soriano scores again for PLDT, and we are tied at 2.
Charo Soriano, I think for one season, coach the Lady Eagles.
No.
Kung di ako nagkakamali.
And look at her, very fit. That's Charo Soriano. They're tied here at 2. Bautista, smart move there.
Iba na ang matangkad.
Iba na matangkad, but Ferrer was there. Ooh, power from Sue. And too much muscle behind the spike of Gonzaga.
Very rare attack error coming from Jovelyn Gonzaga. Normally very precise as she attempts to find the open space and the floor defense ng kanilang mga kalaban. 3 serving 2. Lamang ang PLDT.
Quick one.
Excellent steal set coming from Gonzalez. May flair itong si Gonzalez maglaro no?
And you said Alarca has injury on both knees?
2 bad knees.
2 bad knees? Wow. And he jumped and he finished that quick.
Alam mo, ibang pride ng winner. Winner itong si Jackie Alarca.
We're tied at 3. Ferrer will set.
Oh.
Quick one to Sutulo. Am I right?
Oh, definitely. Lost connection for PLDT.
It became intermittent
Yes.
in the middle of the
Your
net
connection is unstable.
because it was low.
Di ba yun ang lumalabas?
Yes. Why? Because the net was there.
Yes.
An interference.
Bahala ko.
4 serving 3. Ferrer will go to Benting.
Not over for Yalay Benting.
So miscue there from Superman and Batman.
Well, parang inaantay pa nila yung kagat dito ni Jen Ferrer kasamang Chiki.
Trying to warm up.
Ibang nagtitimpla kanina ngayon, ibang nagtitimon naman para dito. Kanina, Ruby De Leon. Ngayon
That's
naman,
right.
the youthful Jen Ferrer.
So they're trying to have the great combination, ano?
Oh, iba kasi yan eh. Iba talagang tendencies.
Different looks, ika nga. Different
Yes.
looks.
Ibang reads.
Yes. Just to confuse the defense also. But ironically, Coach Ron, in the past 3 possessions, the power attackers are the ones confused.
Tama yan. Actually, yung floor defense nila nagiging problema.
Yes.
Pati yung pag-setup ni Jen Ferrer. Attack errors and miscues sa kanilang floor defense, enabling the Army Troopers to have a 3-point advantage, reminiscent on the same storyline in the previous first set.
6-3, ladies in orange, up by 30. Barely making it. Sue. Defended well by Balse. At the net, however, it goes out. So that point goes to the power. Oh, no. Is it to the power attackers?
Ang sabi ng ating umpires na hindi nahawakan ni Sue Roses.
So that score should change.
That's right. It should be 6-4. Should be 4 serving 6.
That's right. So we'll change that in a few. It's 4 serving 6. Service error by Soriano.
Bihira tayo makita ng service error so far no? Sa ating unang dalawang sets. 7 points na dito ang Generika Army. Nene Bautista looking to push her squad to be once again on top as they try to get into the first technical timeout with a 4-point advantage.
Going to the back was Sue, but it was too long for Roses. So the Army Lady Troopers will grab the lead as we take our first PSL, the #1 home broadband. Coach Ronnie, like set #1, the ladies in orange took the lead in the first technical timeout.
And this was the part of the first set wherein PLDT regrouped, rebounded, and tilted the favor on their side. And let's see if Generika will be able to hold forth as Rachel Handakis dances her way together with Mary Jean Balse and
That's
group to a 5-point advantage laban dito sa white shirts.
Am I right in saying that the hardest targets, 2 zones in volleyball, are zones 6 and 1?
Tama yan. Tama
Especially
yan.
the end line.
Kanto-kanto. Kasi manipis eh. Manipis yung margin for error. So Roses at her best. That's her money move. That running hit, specialty of the house for the former UE Red Warrior na si Sue Roses.
She's showing a lot of a variety of attacks,
alam mo,
cross-court, down the line, in the middle, yung off-speed.
Amazed ako sa kanya, yung ability niya na first, second period, fourth jumps. Pare-pareho
It's
yung
the same.
elevation. Ang bigat ng verticals.
Parang may spring.
Ang lakas ng katawan eh.
Condition.
Iba talaga si Superman.
In shape. I wonder what her kryptonite is.
Yes.
Ayan, nabubulol pa. Balse,
Nice.
finding an open zone 6. And just like Dakis, she's dancing around the court.
Kung kay Sue Roses, ang kanyang tagline ay up, up and away. Para naman kay Mary Jane Balse, fire away.
But not at will. You have to make sure
Timpla,
that...
timpla.
Timpla lang.
3 in 1.
10-5. Army still up by 5.
Pero ito, hindi 3 in 1 ito. 2
Nope.
in 1. Rachel Dakis, Merjin Balse, Rachel Andakis. Sandwiched between those two names, of course, itong si Gonzalez.
Head coach Roger Gorayev not pleased with what's happening. Let's try to listen in on the command and end with one stop.
Tama yan. Ang nangyari na ibabalik nila yung bola pero hindi sila maka-atake.
Yes.
So, eventually, when you play the percentages, kabibigay mo ng pagkakataon sa kalaban, mapupuntosan ka talaga. Hindi naman pwedeng balik ka lang ng balik na para kang pader. Kailangan meron ka rin pagkakataon na patayin yung bola.
Not your neighborhood volleyball wherein you can score if you just bring it back there.
Tama. Merjin Balse celebrating. I thought that ball could have been still kept in play pero dinaan na si Hiyaw ni Merjin Balse. Sabi nga natin, Merjin Balse, Rachel Andakis. Merjin Balse. Sarah Jane Gonzalez, sandwiched in between.
And I like what they're doing. You know, folks, these guys are great players.
Energy, emotions. Alam nila yan eh. Kailangan itaas nila eh.
But they're like little girls as well, dancing inside,
Why not?
celebrating every point.
These ladies are always young girls at heart kasamang Chiki.
Oh.
The passion for the game keeps everyone youthful. Alam mo yan.
Yes.
Alam mo yan. At that's why they continue to play the game at this level.
A point finally for PLDT. It goes back to their side. And that's a service error coming from Sue Roses.
First technical timeout score stood at 8 versus 4 in favor of Generika Army. Since that time, itong koponan ng Generika have won 5 out of the last 7 rallies to increase their advantage from 2 points, now on top by 7.
13-16. Army Lady Troopers are up. Make that 13-7. And Latigay scores a 7th point for PLDT. 7 serving 13. On deck to serve. That's De Manadera. That's Sasa. Ball's in. Dakis down the line. However, oh yeah, it's good. It's good. It's in.
Difficult. Rachel Dakis combining with Nene Bautista to build a 7-point advantage, which is the biggest lead right now for the Army. Grabe, paper thin na lang itong si Rachel Dakis.
Oh!
Yung remote control serve na sinasabi ni Noel Zarate ay bumigay. Nawala ng baterya.
And that's right, paper thin, no?
Grabe sila ni Jovelyn Gonzaga. Ang ninipis.
And that's the result of playing a lot of volleyball.
Almost every day.
Which we should
Which
be
they like.
thankful.
Which
Yes.
they like. Oh.
And then special thanks to the organizers of PSL because this is a great platform for players to continue playing after collegiate volleyball.
Yes, and this will be also the biggest avenue for us to be able to build the national pool, something that we're already able to do.
Yes.
And hopefully we can strengthen our national pool and compete in the Southeast Asian Games, which is something we have not done for quite a long time.
And increase our ranking. Diba? Yung mga along the way.
Kailangan kasi mayroong national pool.
Otherwise, it will not increase.
Hindi tayo makakapagpadala.
Oh, yes.
Ito na yung tamang panahon, pero para kay Agno, ito na rin ang panahon kung kailan siya binabagyo rito ng pagbabalik ng PLDT. 13-7 earlier, now it's just a 4-point disadvantage para dito sa white shirts.
Lou Soriano. Again, or Latigay, I stand corrected. On deck to serve for PLDT. They're down. 10 serving 14. Alarca will go to Sabas.
Difficult angle.
Oh, rarely do you see a setter hit that spike that well. Coach Rico, they're still up by 3. And that was a miscue earlier by Agno. And you mentioned 13-7. From that score, it's a 4-1 run here.
That's right. Ruby De Leon has to be credited for 2 of those 4 straight points coming from PLDT. They're now making their move as they try to tilt the tide in their favor.
Sabas. Oh, going to the far corner of zone 5.
Got the line.
Wow. That's very hard to target.
They needed that to stop the onslaught coming from PLDT. Ang bigat ng dating ng terabytes. Ang bigat ng download. Panay ang upload.
Eto na, nararamdaman na yung power ng PLDT kanina pero sumagot ang Generika nga.
Not over.
Not over indeed.
That's from the back row. Attack error coming from Luan Latigay.
I also said earlier, pag sa actual game, lalabas naman ulit lahat ng ginawa sa training. So we will just have to wait and see what's in store. Coach Ronnie and Chicky, by the way, ang moniker daw ni Coach Roger ay People's Coach. Back to you guys.
PC.
PC.
Oh, military pa din yun, nakay.
Philippine Constabulary dati yun.
Poging commander yun.
Yan, okay. People's Coach, Poging Commander.
Patay kami.
Patay si Chicky at saka si Coach.
Patay, coach.
16-12, boy.
Oh, nice.
Naisalba ni Sabas yun. Sue, defended well at the
Good
net.
block.
Coming from Alarca. Benting. Dakis was at the back. Again, great net defense. De Leon will sit.
Nice.
And that point, hindi sumobra yung Coach Ronnie.
Nice. Kaya sinasabi natin na kompletong pakete ni Jovelyn Gonzaga. Masipag sila. Alam nila, sila na Rachel Dakis yung magdadala ng energy.
Yes.
Para dito sa kanilang kupunan. They are the youngest players. They are the two of the most recent national players for this roster. Kaya kayod. Oh!
That's a
service
service
ace.
Coming from Alarca. And
Alam mo kasamang Chicky, there are some coaches who tell you to step on that sideline.
Yes.
So that you will know the measure kung ano yung dinidepensahan mo. Pero meron namang iba, since basa nila, nakaantay lang talaga. Ang hirap ng pinagdaanan ng bola ni Jackie Alarca, but she commits a service error. Although this is still a very comfortable cushion, a 5-point advantage at 18 versus 13.
And you mentioned the word advantage, and that's the advantage that PLDT Home DSL is giving to our volleyball players because Philippine Superliga All-Filipino Conference is presented by PLDT Home DSL. Limitless sharing with the family-sized connection of PLDT Home DSL, the #1 home broadband. Sabas! Mababa yun.
Excellent timing coming from Sasa de Banadera. Sabas had 2 critical points for Generika Army earlier, but this time, I don't know if this really was something that she wanted to do.
Not too much lift.
Parang hindi naka-ere itong si Sabas. Parang tinambangan siya sa net nila Sasa de Banadera.
I like that. Tinambangan talaga.
Oh.
14 serving 18
Oops.
and jersey number 14 commits a service error. That's Soriano.
Second one for the set for Charo Soriano. And this minuscule errors giving Army troopers yung cushion na kinakailangan nila upang dumalas yung pressure sa kanilang mga balikan.
Second on Soriano, third overall for PLDT on service errors.
Oh,
And
wow.
on the other side, that's the third service ace by Generika in set number 2.
How many times do you do that versus the defense of Lizzie Angata, Pantone? Saka yung execution ng game plan
Exactly.
kasamang Chiki.
The
Same
three
reminders ni Coach Roger kanina, wag sa dulo, pinuputo naibabalik Dala niyo sa gitna, yun yung butas ng Generika all game long. And once again, Sabas has been a game changer for Coach Rico de Guzman Rini. Alam mo ang tawag ko sa kanya, Contra-Tempo Sabas.
Contra-Tempo
Ganun
Sabas.
yung laro niya, KT. Total, sinimulan ni Carla kanina
BC,
yung
we got KT, we got SM and
yung
Superman,
alpabetong Pilipino.
and BM in Batman.
Ikaw, CR.
A bug doesn't smell good.
Oh, it's okay.
21, serving 14, a 7-point lead for the ladies in orange. 4 service aces in set number 2.
Ang mga puntos ni Sabas mabibigat para dito sa kupunan ng Generika Army.
And the same way that I highlighted the service ace, Coach Ronnie,
Nangyayari naman yan. Nangyayari yan. Pero ang kagandahan, meron kang puhunan.
pero pangatlo na yun, na service error din ng Army Lady Troopers.
Jeannie Sabas is only 22 years old.
Bata pa, no?
Oh, nice. Recovery by Mary Jean Balse.
Oh, Latigay making sure of that one as they inch in closer. Only down by 5 are the power attackers.
Make no mistake about it, Luan Latigay is in superior shape. And she has exhibited supreme quickness at power sa kanyang attacking moves.
16 serving 21. That was Orendain.
Nice.
Oh, Gonzaga finding open zone 1.
Very simple play. Once again, Gonzalez making the right decision. Rachel Dakis liking that setup coming from Gonzalez. Combination play, 6-point advantage for Generika Army.
We have making here Coach Ronnie of a 5-setter in this game.
Hindi malayo.
Hindi malaya mangyari yan. Play continues. Dakis. De Leon will set. Great floor defense coming from the Army Lady Troopers. Dakis again. And she finds the target, bring it home.
Earlier, it was Dakis, Mary Jane Balse, Dakis. Now, it is Jovelyn Gonzaga, Mary Jane Balse, Rachel and Dakis, sandwich Gonzalez in between. But the most important part, they have a new weapon, and that is a howitzer named Jeannie Sabas.
Sabas, as you mentioned, one of the young players.
Galing.
Future of Philippine volleyball as well.
Steady.
23 serving 16. That was Gonzaga who served for the Army. Smart play by Ferrer. Ball still alive. At the net. And the point goes to the Army Lady Troopers.
8 set points for the Army Troopers as they try to equalize after dropping set 1. 28-26 nagtapos kasamang Chiki yung ating first set which took 32 minutes. Itong ating second set mabilis na binarel ng Army upang umabante at umalagwa. Biggest lead of the second set. And this will seal the deal kasamang Chiki para dito sa Army.
And they got the lead from the first technical timeout to the second. Take a look at the stars of the Philippine Super Liga. But the stars shone brightly on the side of the Army Lady Troopers. In spite of being down in the attacks, Coach Ronnie, they grabbed set number 2.
I thought that it was a high percentage look that they administered. It was a methodical win in the second set. Look at the number of errors that Generika forced.
And our courtside reporter, Carla Aguas, has this report.
Tama yun pero nakita ko yung nilakihan ni Carla yung boses niya
Tapusin nyo na.
Oo.
Those are the marching orders.
Kaya mo, papatrain natin yan kay Sergeant Rico de Guzman.
Oo, diba?
Tingnan natin kung mabawasan ng kaputian yung batang yan.
Tingnan natin.
Tingnan natin kung maging kakulay ko yan. Mahirapan siya.
Coach, matagal.
Mahirapan siya.
It will take a lot of...
Mahirapan siya. Bata pa naman
Remember, she was born 1990.
Wow. Ay student number ko sa UP, 83-15573.
There you go, Carla.
Tamo, hindi pa siya
Carla.
Tamo, hindi pa siya pinaplano.
Not yet.
Maitim na ako.
Not yet.
Sus Marioset. Tama si Coach Rico. Yes, sir.
Pero dito naman sa third set natin, hindi naman nangingitim dito ang umpisa ng
Kumikil ka.
PLDT. Sapagkat ang PLDT, kumikinang ang kanilang umpisa.
Tama. At
It's a bright start.
para sa mga black-shorted ladies natin, kasamang Chiki, this is the first time that they will hold the lead early in the set. They fell behind in the first 2 sets quickly, pero ngayon, 2 puntos na kalamangan dito sa third set.
2-0, but quickly, the Army Lady Troopers through Gonzaga, they scored their first point.
I like the game of Jovelyn Gonzaga. She's like a human projectile. Lumilihis pag tumatalon, ang haba ng mga galamay at ang galing pumalo. Merong parang super vision, nakikita niya kung saan niya dadalhin yung mga bola niya.
Night vision.
Ganda.
There's a sensor.
Tama.
Every time she jumps, another sensor.
Parang drone, no?
Yes. But De Leon was there. Manatikla will try. 4 touches.
Manatikla normally is a double-digit scorer every time around for PLDT. But so far here today, struggling amidst the huge sequoias down the net para dito sa kupunan ng Army.
With knee injuries and all, Alarca on deck to serve.
Ang laki rin itong si Jack Alarca talaga. Minimum 5'11 itong si Jack Alarca, pwedeng 6.
But you see her jump, Coach Ronnie, not too much lift. Probably the knees are bothering her pa rin.
Sakit yan. So Rosas continues to be the best player para dito sa PLDT. And let's see if Sasa de Varadera, Luan Latigay, and of course, Maruba Natikla will be able to backstop itong si Rosas as they attempt to get the third set after dropping that second set. Oh,
Balse, very smart move, not leaving the net, having that quick second jump and finding that hole in the middle.
Balse versus De Leon. Mary Jane Balse prevailing over Ruby De Leon. 3-all after being behind at 0-2 early in the third set.
And what she did, Coach Ronnie, she didn't have to jump that high. I'm talking about Mary Jane Balse. The timing was perfect. Oh, tumulay ng bola.
Tignan mo yung experience kasamang Chiki, hindi nagpapanik. Aabangan lang nila yung bola.
And when she was looking at that ball, she was smiling.
Alam niya, gugulong naman pero paloob nga lang.
So Sue Rosses will serve. That's the captain of the power attackers.
The
They're up.
Bat Lady.
The Bat Lady. Ah, the Bat Lady?
The Catmobile.
Isa si Superman.
Oo nga pala. I'm sorry.
So the Superwoman. But we're tied at 4-all. But so far, I haven't felt the other, the partner of
Hindi mo
Superman.
maramdaman.
Si Bentic.
Si Eli.
Not yet. So far, it's been a Superman show. 4-all. On deck to serve is Gonzaga for the Army Lady Troopers. De Leon was set. Quick one. Ball still alive. Free ball. Oh, saving it was Dakis. Joust at the net. And that's already 4 touches for the Army Lady Troopers. Coach Roger trying to drive a point here, even if the point goes to them already. The colorful PC. People's coach.
Gabi na, Commander.
Parang pamagat ng pelikula.
Tama.
Di ba? I'm right. Ano? Sue. Oh.
Not really. The best shot for Sue Roses.
Had the right intention. But again, we'd rather see her
Maatake.
put some,
titira ni Sue yun eh.
pack some wall up
Pwedeng
there.
push ng dalawa. Pero hindi yung ganong tip na hindi tumatalo.
Uncharacteristic of her.
Quite tentative para kay Sue. At Mary Jean Balse with that faulty serve. That will allow once again PLDT to stay ahead at 6-5.
Number 11, Latigay. That's Luo. Latigay on deck to serve for the power attackers.
Nice.
Almost a service ace there. De Leon to Latigay. Gonzalez, Dakis, and Alarca in that order. From the back, Latigay again. Running attempt coming from Dakis and she scores.
Alam mo, ginawan lang na paraan ni Rachel Ann yun eh.
GNP.
Masyadong nasa harap yung bola. But Ruby De Leon working extra hard on the other end. But on the flip side, Gonzalez continues to be very steady for Coach Rico de Guzman. Talked about Sabas being the game changer, but the fulcrum para dito sa Army, definitely it has to be Jeannie Gonzalez. Or rather, Sarah Jane Gonzalez.
Tied at 6 is our score. Banatikle will try again. And that point will go to the power attackers. Oh, there's a net infraction.
Ang Banatikla?
I thought that was out already, but there's a net infraction. So the point goes to the Army Lady Troopers.
They finally taste the lead after being behind for the entire third set.
Dakis was the one who served for the ladies in orange.
Ganda ng timing ni Alarca. Salong-salo. Luan Latigay rejected. And once again for the third straight set.
Unbelievable power, unbelievable capability to score, to protect their turf, to make sure that they are ahead. And speaking of ahead, Army Lady Troopers are up 8-6 in set number 3. De Leon, oh, smart move. But great for defense from the ladies in orange. Bending. De Leon will go to Sue. And that didn't go over.
If there is one thing that has generated this onslaught para sa Generika Army, it has to be their net defense.
Yes.
Yung setter nila, steady na. Meron na rin silang steady source of points. Pero yung depensa ni Gonzaga nakakatulong sa kanilang net defense. Yung block coverage na tinatawag is solid doon sa likuran.
You mentioned Gonzaga defense, but she also helps on offense. Coach Ronnie, you pointed that out, scoring on some of the attacks.
Very tight. Using her offhand, Benting.
But that's what Batman likes.
Doing that Batman move.
Great bat move.
That's all the way from Gotham City. Para dito kay Yelay Benting.
7 serving 9. I like that. Gotham City.
Wala si Commissioner Gordon dito.
Wala.
Si Commissioner Doc Ian Laurel ang nandito.
At si PC.
Tama. People's coach.
That's right. Tingnan natin. Sue. Oh. Tumulay lang po ang bola sa net. Finding its target in zone 2.
Using a lot of backspin to get that ball in. Nakita niya wala siyang buwelo. Pero nilagyan na lamang yan ng pectus upang makalusot at pumasok ang bola.
8 serving 9. The setter, De Leon, on deck to serve for PLDT. Gonzalez, quick to Alarca. Benting will try again. Where will Gonzalez go? To Gonzaga.
From the back.
Pantoni doing well in those digs. This time it will be Bautista.
Very quiet in the first 18 points. Sa 19th rally, or rather in the first 17 points, sa 18th rally, ayun, pumuntos na si Aling Nene.
But you mentioned, Coach Ronnie, in set number 2 at 1 kasi, pinukpok ni Gonzalez si
Inuubos ni Gonzalez
Bautista
si Nene.
So she needed that rest.
One of the best quickers, itong si Sue Roses. Her ability to execute that graceful vertical, enabling her to derail yung mga blockers to be able to put up that defensive wall against her.
9 serving 10. Great dive from Soriano. Benting going to the back.
Sabi ni Coach Roger, hindi pataas, di ba?
Yes.
Sabi ni
Pababa
Coach Roger,
dapat.
pababa, katulad nun.
Gonzalez will go to
At
Bautista.
katulad niyan. Ang hirap lang kay Yelay talaga kasamang Chiki. Kasi hindi siya talaga katangkaran. Maski nung naglalaro pa siya para sa Lady Falcons. Kaya ang ginagawa niya, tinotodo niya talaga yung talon niya. Isa yan sa pinakamatibay. Doon siya kumukuha ng kanyang pampatay ng bola. Pero ngayon, syempre, many years have gone since those college years. Ngayon, paakyat yung kanyang palo. Hindi masyadong consistent.
11-9, 2-point lead for the Army Lady Troopers. Make that 3.
Service reception seems to be a problem right now for PLDT. Intermittent floor defense hurting their chances to hold the lead. They were behind by 12 here in the third set.
Jacqueline Alarca still on deck to serve for the Army. They're up 12-9, but that's a service error from Alarca. So 2 service errors already for the defending champs here in set number 3. Benting on deck to serve for PLDT. They're down 2. Quick one to Balse, but that's too much muscle. Out ang pagkakatake ni Balse.
I thought that she had a down-the-line opportunity, but instead, Mary Jean Balse going cross-court. She will not be rewarded. 2 straight points. Kinuha rito ng PLDT.
Let's see if the power attackers can tie, or Gonzaga can bring back a 2-point lead, and she does.
This young lady is really, really very good. In so many ways, she can hurt you.
Very cool, no?
Saka gusto ko sa kanya, simpleng-simple maglaro. Hindi mo makikita, pero mararamdaman mo.
Economy of motion.
Efficiency.
Diba?
Personified.
Devanadera. Oh, nabiyayaan dito si Sasa.
Ang masasabi ko lang doon, lahat sila nabitin sa hang-time move ni Sasa Devanadera. That's my favorite name. Sasa Devanadera.
Hand time move indeed. And if you have that in your game, dami mo pwedeng pahirapan dyan.
Sumisipat-sipat sa gilid, nagkakape sa ere.
O pwede kang dumi 4 pa.
Pwede.
Here we go. Army still up 1, 13-12. Can they go up 2? Di pa. Ayaw bigay ng PLDT. De Leon. Latigay.
Sabi, pababa. Di
Oo.
pataas. Katulad niyan.
Yun ang pababa. Su. Yun, pababa din. But still great floor defense from Army. Great rally we're seeing here. Pantone, free ball.
Combination.
Oh!
Once again.
The
Once
calm,
again.
the cool Gonzaga.
And Gonzalez making sure that she makes the right decision. I was about to say Ruby De Leon will be very much challenged by Gonzalez, but still Gonzalez holding her own. Laban dito kay national player si Ruby De Leon.
2 great setters we're
yes.
witnessing right now. Army up by 2, 14-12. Gonzaga po nag-serve para sa Army. Latigay, defender at the net.
I thought that ball was not over kasamang Chiki. I really thought that ball was not over.
But the play went on, and the point goes to PLDT. So that's a big break for the power attackers.
Marami namang nangyayaring ganyan. Missed calls.
Sa bilis kasi.
Tama yan. At saka ang bilis ng bola kaysa sa mata.
And it happens in every sport, Coach.
Oh, yes.
Baseball,
Oh, yes.
basket, volleyball, football. Name it. PLDT still down by 1. Chance here for the power attackers to tie. Latigay does that. And we are tied at 14.
Down at 12-9. Suddenly, equalizing at 14 all. Winning 5 out of the last 7 exchanges. The white shirts making their move. They surrendered the second set 25-16, but they won the first set at 28-26.
Sasa de Manadera on deck to serve. Chance for PLDT to grab this lead. Great dig by Roses. At the net. Play continues. Another free ball. And Balse brings the lead back to the Army Lady Troopers.
And now they cannot content that play. That is an exact point para dito sa Generika Army. They needed that as PLDT was inching their way towards getting the lead, heading to the second technical timeout.
Mary Jean Balse on deck to serve. Army Lady Troopers up 15-14. Service is in. De Leon to Soriano. Dakis. Sue Roses was there. Latigay. Great timing. But Bautista was there. Alarca. Medyo na-excite ng konti. And we are tied at 15.
She wanted a deflection. Pero hindi sumayad sa mga kamay ng mga blockers. And I believe ito yung pinaka-tight set natin in terms of pagdating sa puntong ito ng set. Kasi dun sa first set, sumikip lang tayo dun sa bandang dulo.
That's right.
Yung second set naman, hindi na nakahabol ang white shirts ng PLDT. Pero dito, dikdikan mula sa simula.
Who will grab the lead as we go to our second technical timeout? Will it be PLDT or will it be Generika? And that answers it as PLDT, they grab this lead 16-15 with Carla Aguas.
Thank you, Chicky. Mahina ang reception ng power attackers sa first set. As per Coach Roger, they need to maximize their reception. They also need to improve their defense because they have been playing elementary defense. They need to start working and start thinking. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat sa iyo, Carla. Elementary defense.
Basic lang. Fundamentals lang. Yung one reception na tinatawag. But one thing that has worked for PLDT here in the third set is their excellent core defense.
Yes.
Charo Soriano has been scrambling. Yelay Binting has been able to find excellent core defense.
Yes.
Charo Soriano has been scrambling. Yelay Binting has been able to find her groove. Duan Latigay also excellent at her net defense.
And even Sue Roses going for those digs.
Kaya timeout na naman dito ang koponan ng Army Troopers dahil nagtatangka. They chart.
Kung yung onus, saan mo dadalhin yung bola?
Setters are the playmakers. They are the decision makers. And their offense will go wherever the course that they chart for the respective club, or team rather. Again, a faulty service reception will hurt the Army Troopers. They can't even get to the second ball. And this is already a decisive 4-point advantage for PLDT of 19-15.
So yung mga nabanggit mong pangalan, mga key names, Soriano, Latigay, Roses, they're doing the damage here in set 3. Dakis.
Ayan, katulad ng klaseng depensa.
Benting, kinulang ng salundag. So that's a point going to the Army Lady Troopers. Dakis on deck to serve, 16 serving 19.
Good size card we have here kasamang Chiki.
Mantakin mo,
Not bad on a Wednesday.
hapon, kadalasan, tulog ang tao.
Baka diretso baklaran yan.
Oo, araw ng baklaran ngayon, ano? That's right, it's Wednesday. Tulog ang tao.
Baka diretso baklaran yan.
Wednesday. Free ball. Gonzalez to Bautista. Great dig there by Pantone. Benting. Going to the back. At hindi naasahan ni Dakis yun.
Yan ang mga pababang palo ni Batman. Benting. At nasabi dito ng Rachel Dakis, wow man, dahil 2016 na ang talaan. PLDT inching closer to point number 25 as they try to build a 2-set 1-1 advantage.
And if you get set number 3, the momentum obviously shifts to the team with the lead. And Pantone, ay, kinapos si Nene Bautista, nakastampalo.
At eto na, binubuksan na ni Gonzalez ang pinto para kay Nene Bautista. Kanina exclusive. The Duckies. Pero ngayon si Nene Bautista sasama na uli dito sa party ni Gonzales.
Sarah Jane Gonzalez serving for the Army.
Sarah
Third down.
G.
Sarah G.
Yeah.
Sarah Geronimo.
Pwede.
Eto, Gonzaga again. Timely hit and the Tigay could only stare back at disbelief.
Nobody at home with that net defense. Gonzaga, Coach Roger, kaya naman ni Tatangata yung reception. Ang sinasabi niya, pag sa opensa, kailangan mapatay natin yung bola kasi tumitibay na rito yung depensa at kina-counter atake sila rito.
At
Generika.
singdiin dapat nung palo ni Gonzaga.
Oo, sobra.
Eh,
Parang martilyo, Chiki.
Kaya pa binabanggit yung pangalang Gonzaga and it has been a household name here in this game.
Wow.
Because he's been helping, but on the other end,
Kabalasa ni Rudy Gonzales at binigyan si Charo Soriano na nagbigay ng importanteng puntos para sa PLDT. Soriano has been on aggressive mode all set long para sa white shirts.
that's a breathing room, extra breathing room for the power attackers. They're up 3. Gonzaga again. Pero ito na-depensahan. Benting. And off the defenders, Alarca and Gonzaga. So that's a point for PLDT.
It was a key defensive stop para dito sa PLDT that enabled Yelay Benting once again to execute and kill that ball para sa PLDT. Look at the comparative numbers in terms of attack errors. Rather in terms of blocks. The number of times that Generika has committed those faults sa kanilang
Huge difference.
Oo.
19-18. 19-8.
They're playing more at the net pero hindi nga yung success rate na gusto nilang porsyento.
Alarca. Service is good. They're down 3. Quick one coming from Gonzaga again.
Alam mo, yung hand-eye coordination kasamang Chiki, hindi lahat ng tao pare-pareho yan. Merong mas mabilis, merong saksakan ng bilis. Etong si Javelin Gonzaga, anak ng bilis.
She has that eye for the ball.
Oo, sobra, ubod ng bilis.
Kumbaga sa ang tawag natin, may naaamoy niya kung saan pupunta yung bola
Gift yan.
Oh yes. Not all athletes have that. Free ball. Chance here for Army to stay in close or keep it close, and that's what Basit did. They're only down by 1, 21-22.
There are some teams when they are down at this stage at 22-18, they just surrender and look forward to the next set. But once again, could be reminiscent of our first set, which took an extended time for us to settle, which extended all the way to 28-26. United Army breathing one more inhale to try and survive and build their lifeline. Laban dito sa PLDT.
Let's see their exhale if they can tie this. Or will PLDT grab a 2-point lead?
Dalawa yun
Tuloy pa rin ang paluan. Gonzaga will be the setter now. Balse, defended well.
Good cover coming from Duckies.
Gonzaga, na-depensahan muli.
Gano'ng kabilis kasamang Chiki.
Everybody's there at the net. Benting. Great dig by Duckies.
Palakpak pa.
Parang trash talk din yun. Ito na. Oh. Play continues. Oh, and that point.
Deflected. Yes,
check ball.
deflected.
So we are tied.
Gonzaga's thumbprint was all over that last point para dito sa Generika. Down at 22-18, equalizing at 22-all. You talk about experience, you talk about big fighting hearts, and definitely Coach Rico de Guzman has a lot of audacious ladies on his shoulders.
22-all. Alarca still serving for Generika. It's going to be a free ball. Chance here for the Army Lady Troopers to grab the lead. Oh, great
Sobra yung
defense.
bigay ni Jackie Alarca, no? Buti na isalba ni Gonzales yun.
Benting. Antony was there. Benting muli. Great net defense.
Too near.
Benting pa rin.
Joust.
Again, Gonzaga, Coach Ronnie. Right place at the right time.
Not over, not over.
And that's where fatigue also comes in. The red light.
Again, looking to survive this huge rampage na pinapakawalan ng Generika Army.
And this is the heart of a champion, Coach Ronnie.
Oh, no doubt.
That we're witnessing right now.
Wow, excellent set coming from Ruby.
Gonzaga again.
Oops, kagawan. Ano natanggal doon? Headband.
Meron
Oh, that's wild for Sue.
and then look at that.
I like that sporting gesture coming from Nene Bautista.
And in that headband that almost got lost from the head of Mary
almost
Jean.
ka dyan?
It got
Nahulog.
lost. Ngiti pa sila,
Lost and found.
pero ito maganda.
Oh.
Hinanap yung bola, pero pagkatapos hinanap yung headband.
Oo, they lost the headband, but they found that ultimate 24th point.
Let's see if they close this third set. Or makakahabol dito. Oh.
Tinan mo nga naman.
The net is the ally of Sue Roses.
Tinan mo nga naman.
The net is the ally, or was the ally of Sue?
You don't get to practice those things. You build on your game instincts and you do what it takes to survive. And Sue Roses has always been a survivor.
Let's see if they will survive further. Penting ang nag-serve. They're down 1 point. Gonzaga almost closing that one. Gonzalez going back to Gonzaga. Dig again by Benting.
Kanina si Pantone, ngayon naman si Benting.
Check
Nasa
ball.
deflection, yes, Latigay. Smart decision. 2 match points. Save by PLDT would be a mirror of what we saw in set 1 kasamang Chiki.
And what did we wish for? A good game.
Better than good.
Better than good. This is an extended set again. Gonzalez. Favorite is Gonzaga.
oh.
They're asking for a check ball. But the point will go to PLDT. Gonzaga with that last possession of Generika. PLDT up 25-24.
3 straight points for PLDT here kasamang Chiki. Gonzaga rarely commits an error. What more, 2 consecutive errors.
And I think that point will go.
Digs ni Lizzie Pantone at si Yelay Benting. Atake sila Tigay at nagkamali. Gawin Gonzaga.
Gonzalez going back to Gonzaga. And we are tied at 25.
We talk about trust. We talk about building confidence. Gonzalez making sure that that confidence bank of Gonzaga stays full. May interest pa.
And it seems that Gonzaga, Coach Ronnie, hindi napapagod.
Saka di kinakabahan.
Nerves of steel. Levanadera. Balse. Oh, okay na sana yung ginawa ni De Leon, but Pantone wasn't quick for the second ball.
Actually, parang mishandle na yun para kay Rudy kasamang Chiki dahil normally tataas mo yun para may split of a second na makarecover naman yung kukuha ng pangalawang bola. Kaya alam, nahulog na agad yung bola.
Nabigla sa palo ni Balse.
Third set point para dito sa kupunan ng Generika.
Latigay off the hands of Balse, and it's today, and we are tied at 26.
Luan Latigay seems to be the answer to those set points that Generika Army have generated. This time going against 2 blockers, scoring of Mary Jean Balse. Score is tied at 26 all.
Captain Sue on deck to serve. Gonzaga. Benting was there. Gonzalez will go to Dakis. And Army Lady Troopers are up 27-26.
Credit Gonzalez for that point. Daki scored, but Gonzalez had that difficult jumping cross-court set.
I like the matchup of Gonzalez and De Leon.
Parehong magulang maglaro eh. Set point number 4 para dito sa Army.
Let's see. Tatabla ba ang PLDT? Latigay.
Si Gonzalez yung sumapal doon, ha?
Gonzalez. Oy! Rarely. Right after we praised Gonzalez and De Leon, Gonzalez with that error.
4 set points saved by PLDT.
We are tied at 27. And this will go beyond the score of set 1, obviously.
Oh, yes.
Gonzalez will set.
Oops.
Wala. Pero bola pa rin dito ng Ladies in Orange. Balse. Overcooking that spike, and the point goes to PLDT.
Set point number 2 for PLDT as Charmaine Moralde once again, the designated server for Coach Roger Gorayev, is sent in. Hirap niya.
Tingnan natin. Mako close out dito ng PLDT ito, Coach Ron, in set number 3. Service ni Moralde, pumasok. However, Daki said, oh, no, it was corrected and PLDT gets set. Highlights of the extended set 3. It went PLDT's way. Score of 29-27, but in the attacks, it was tight. Generika edging na PLDT in that department, 17-16. But the blocks went the power attackers' way.
Actually, Chiki, kung ako ang tatanungin, it's not even about the numbers. It was about the composure and stability of the rest of shock troopers of PLDT. I thought that set was relo na, di ba? Sorry ho.
Trumobak yung katabi ko.
Medyo matagal. Jurassic Park.
Hindi man lang CD player yung inano mo. Yung Discman.
Hindi natuwa.
Walkman talaga eh.
Natuwa kasi ako sa mga bata talaga eh.
Coach, malit na lang ngayon. Baka nga sa telepono na nakasaksak
Tama,
yan.
tama.
Bautista. Young and all. Hindi inabutan ng Sony Walkman pero inabutan niya yung palo. Kaya sila una mga
May breakdance move doon si Luan Latigay.
Aba, nung tugtog. Baka mahulog yan na mo. 1-0.
Oy, totoo yan. Totoo yan, may glue yan.
So you were a human beatbox before. Gonzalez, service ace for Generika.
Kasi meron akong dalang boombox.
Sa linoleum ka nagsasayaw. Nakakabit sa sahig. Teka lang, 2-0 na. PLDT, they want to score here. But no. Army, Gonzaga. Giving the third point to the Army Lady Troopers. Reminiscent Coach Ronnie of sets 1 and 2.
Alam mo, bagay na bagay itong ating background music ni Farrell eh. Anong tugtog? Happy.
Oh yes.
Diba? Kasi
Who's happy?
pareho sila eh. Dahil alam naman ng Generika na kaya nilang bumalik. At alam naman ng PLDT na yung third set na sungkit na yon, eh, magiging mabigat na puhunan nila upang makabawi dito sa two-time defending champions. Gonzaga looking to fight back after they're experiencing that brief letdown sa nakalipas na third set.
And she's been the focal point of the attack of the Army Lady Troopers. And I was asking you, Coach, during the break, how come sets now are going the distance? Extended set, 5 sets. And you mentioned the parity of our teams because of that great concept of making sure that we draft the players.
Oo, totoo yan. At syempre, yung ating mga coaches, ibibigyan natin ng credit yan dahil ngayon, alam na rin nila kung anong balance ang kinakailangan nila.
Who's who?
Because the barometer really is this lineup of Coach Rico de Guzman, who seems to be handicapped without the Carolino sisters, without Tina Salak, without Joan Gunad, but they have brought in, of course, Christine Agno at itong si Malad, kung di ako nagkakamali. And they have the rest of this nucleus to work with. 4-0 kanina, naibaba sa 4-2. Charo Soriano is on deck to serve.
Subok dito, ladies in orange. Gonzaga pa rin finding an open zone 1 and rarely do I see her smile in this game. At ngayon, nagbitaw siya ng isang magandang
I think she is also trying to relax herself. I think that they wanted that set so much. I'm talking about the previous second set. This time, Gonzalez making sure that she varies their points of attack. Kung saan-saan na nanggagaling dito itong si Jovelyn Gonzaga, hindi na nakakulong dun sa isang area.
And you taught this to me before, Coach Ronnie, when I was just starting with the coverage of volleyball. These great players have this split second near the net to find an open space. And Gonzaga is good in doing that.
Alam naman natin may mga plays na tinatawag yan, but when the plays back down, good players are able to seamlessly weave their way towards yung sweet spots na tinatawag kung saan sila magagaling umatake. Pero hahanapin mo yan.
Tingnan mo yun. Bautista looking at zone 1, knowing that she can put it there. They're up 6-3.
Talaga namang outside hitter itong si Nene Bautista, once upon a time an MVP in the UAAP. At mahusay at the former national player as well. Reserve ito si Nene Bautista dun sa pinakahuling national team natin na naglabas sa Thailand.
Mahusay si Bautista. Si husay ng Army ngayon because they're up by 3, but don't take away the fight from the power attackers. Here they go. Gonzalez trying to walk the tightrope there. Pero wala. Tumama sa net.
Sabi ni Rachel Andakis, taas mo. Itaas mo para mahabol ni Sarah Jane Gonzalez. Rachel Dakis talking earlier to Christine Agno, one of the best liberos right now in the volleyball landscape.
4 serving 6. Captain Sue. Service is good. Gonzalez going to Dakis. Ferrer quickly to De Manadera. It's out.
They wanted a check ball, but that will not happen.
So the point will go to the Army Lady Troopers. They're 1 point away from taking the first technical timeout. Gonzaga on deck to serve for Army. Oh, that's a service error. 5 serving 7. Go ahead, Coach
Sa
Ronnie.
taas ng level ng laro ni Jovelyn Gonzaga, yung any minimal mistake, parang na-highlight. Kasi parang miss efficiency itong si Jovelyn Gonzaga. Ang tining maglaro.
Parang matapos gumawa ng siyam na magaganda, yung pang-10 masama,
Yun ang mapapansin mo.
Tama ka doon. A great observation there. As the Army Lady Troopers, they take the lead in the first technical timeout, 8-5. We'll be right back, folks.
Hi, I'm Chara Soriano from Team PLDT. Please watch the Philippine Superliga, all Filipino conference only here in Solar Sports.
The All-Filipino Conference of the Philippine Superliga is presented by PLDT Home DSL. Limitless sharing with the family-sized connection of PLDT Home DSL, the #1 home broadband. And we'd like to connect again with Carla Agos, our courtside reporter.
Thank you, Chicky. My favorite oldie but goodie now. Maturity has no expiration date. Veteran player Gonzaga said that if there's one thing 2 championships has taught them, it's maturity on the court and flexibility during the game. The Lady Troopers need to focus on their attacks and their plays in order to stay in the lead. Back to you.
Oldie but goodie, so ikaw yun?
Ikaw ang tinuro.
Ako?
Ako oldie but blacky.
Walkman nga yung pinag-uusapan natin kanina eh.
Hindi na inabot ni Carla yun. Kakahiya ka talaga.
iPod.
Pang Bluetooth na yan.
iPod.
Oo.
iPad.
Pang mga FaceTime na yan.
Yeah.
Ayan.
And
Tama ba?
Pang
Pang mga Viber na yan.
yeah.
Yan.
And
Dati Telegram ka eh.
ito, di na tinetelegrama dito nila Tigay. Straight connection. Let's see. Busy tone yan, coach.
Pareho na rin yun.
Power attackers still down by 2. Army Lady Troopers.
Oh,
That
nice.
is with a powerful spike.
When you're a little tired, sometimes your decision making gets muddled up. Gonzalez versus Ferrer. She gained the upper hand.
Yes.
Gonzalez versus Ruby De Leon. Gonzalez had the upper hand. Ruby De Leon rebounded and beat Gonzalez and the rest of the Army kung sa nakalipas na third set. Pinahinga si Ruby, balik si Jen Ferrer. Tignan natin kung makukuha muli ni Gonzalez ang upper hand.
Great move there coming from Benting.
Nabuhay na si Yelay, ano?
Finally, they're waiting for that. 7 serving 9 on deck to serve. Numero 12, that's Ferrer. Almost an ace. Bautista.
Nice.
Deflection, and the point goes to the ladies in orange.
And now, earlier it was Sabas who was utilized by Coach Rigo de Guzman in the third set. That seemed to be the game changer for the Army. Now, Coach Roger Grayev digging deep, putting in Nika Guliman and Jen Ferrer here in the fourth set to likewise give Ruby De Leon at si Maruba na tikla a breather. Maging si Charo Soriano.
Pahinga lang, ano?
Kasi grabe yung kinayod ni Charo dun sa nakalipas na third set. Lahat ng bola hinabol.
Kahit sandali na, because they're up 2 sets to 1.
Tama yan. Oh, nice punch coming from Gonzalez.
And because of that punch, they punched to an 11-point lead, or rather 4-point lead, 11-7.
Tama na yung pahinga para kay Ruby De Leon. Ayaw nang paabutin ni Coach Roger sa 5th set kung sakasakali. Pero yun naman ang tangka nitong sila Sarah Jane Gonzalez and the rest of the Army Troopers.
11 serving 7. Army up by 4. Roses defended well at the net. Pantone was there. De Leon, free ball. Gonzalez to Bautista. And Agno couldn't handle that.
Yung block coverage lang, napadiin ng konti itong si Christine Agno. Nene Bautista rejected by Sue Roses as Nika Guliman will be on deck to serve for the first time in this match. A match that is going nearly for 2 hours kasamang Chiki.
Because, number one, Coach
Haba
Ronnie,
ng palitan.
apart from the extended set, the rallies, as you mentioned, they're
Mahaba.
long. Which
12-7.
I observe differently from the men's.
Mabilis
The
talaga ang
rallies
bola
are shorter. The rallies are shorter. Imagine if the rallies are longer, the men's division.
bukas ka. Pag nagsimula tayo ng Miyerkules,
Tapos mo Biyernes.
weekend na.
Sabado na.
Sabado.
Hunyo na yun. Hindi pa. 12-8. Army still up by 4. Benting. Great save there by Sue. Batman will try again. And that point will go to the Army.
Yung mga sets na namamayani yung net defense ng Lady Troopers. Yun yung mga sets na lumalaki yung kalamangan nila. And when they build a comfortable lead, it puts pressure on PLDT to try to narrow the gap. When that happens, lumalabas dito yung karanasan ng Generika Army in protecting leads. Let's see if that will continue to happen here para dito sa Lady Troopers ni Coach Rico de Guzman.
They're up 13-8. Quick one for Devanadera, pero hindi makapunto si PLDT. And that's a huge margin already. Huge lead for the Lady Troopers, 14-8.
So sa napakalipas natin na third set, tanging 4 na puntos ang pinakamalaking abante. Hinawakan niya ng PLDT, or rather ng Generika Army, bago biglang bumalik na parang kidlat ang PLDT.
Coach Ronnie, power attackers. And that's a good start for the power attackers. Devanadera protecting that net very well. Protecting that net very well.
That's true. May not be scoring heavily, but their ability to contain itong si Jovelyn Gonzaga is going to be very critical for their side.
9 serving 14. Power attackers down by 5. Balse. Benting saves it. De Leon will go to Sue. Sue. Dakis was there. Magno. Free ball. De Leon going to Roses, and that's an open zone 5.
This is always the part of the set that PLDT tries to mount a rally.
Captain Sue making sure, having that second look in zone 5, but they're still down 4 points.
Superman si Sue, no?
Yes,
Superman.
Superman.
Tapos si Eli, Batman.
Oh, Eli, Batman, Benting. Very intense.
Cape Crusader.
That's right. Dynamic duo, but Mary Jean Balse doesn't need a dynamic duo, but her setter only would do good.
Another question will be, will the age factor be...
Oh yes.
Will the age factor matter if this match reaches the 5th set?
So fatigue, injuries, that would come into play.
Kasi tandaan natin, ang problema naman sa PLDT, third match na nila in 1 week. They have played 9 sets so far kasamang Chiki. Pero ito, no problem para sa Generika Army kasamang Chiki, lamang 16-10, second technical time.
Chiki Reyes here with Coach Ronnie Magsanok. And completing our trio, Carla Aguas manning the sides. Set number 4. And Generika, Army Lady Troopers up 16-10. Sue. Benting diving for that ball. It's going to be a free ball. Gonzalez to Balse. That's a quick one.
Excellent reaction coming from Gonzalez once again, making sure that she finds the correct attacker. Pinakamalaking kalamangan na ito. Bridging the last 2 sets, Generika Army threatening to send this match into a 5th and final set.
Let's listen to Coach Roger here.
Madepensahan man nila.
Thank you very much, Direct June. Great shot there of our crowd here. And that's a great shot also coming from Devanadera.
Nahulugan sila rito ni Sasa Devanadera. Poker face and all. Continues to be very efficient para dito kay Coach Roger Gorayan.
11 serving 17. Captain Sue on deck to serve. Oh, and that's another free point. Another point here for PLDT. Or, that's right. 12 serving 17.
That timeout was called precisely kasamang Chiki to put to a halt itong matinding pag-alagwa ng Generika Army at para masimulan ang huling push ng PLDT.
That point courtesy of Ruby De Leon. Gonzalez will go to Gonzaga. And kinapos dito si Sue Roses in that attempt to dig it.
That's a go-go combo. Gonzalez and Gonzaga once again combining to be able to lift their team 6 points ahead of PLDT.
Daming baon na. Go-go combo.
Kung naglalaro nga sila para kay Coach Roger Gurayev, go-go-go. Pero hindi. Kalaban nila si Coach Roger Gurayev na binansagan ni Carla na PC.
I love it. I love it. Nice to share this table again with you, Coach Ronnie. 13 serving 18.
Basta ikaw.
Carla kasi numpisa ng PC.
Good oldie.
Oldie but goodie. Mariosep talaga.
Pagalitan mo nga yung batang yan.
Nananahimik na nga ako dito. Pero si Balse, hindi nananahimik dito for the Army.
Hindi pwede.
Hindi pwede. And she's smiling. She's enjoying their up.
And when they're enjoying kasamang Chiki, it means they're doing something really well. They dropped the third set in a sorry fashion, reminiscent of that first set defeat. Pero all that is past. They want to focus on the task at hand. And Dakis once again projecting the human projectile with emphasis on that last point. Biggest lead once again tied. A 7-point advantage at 20-13.
I like that dance move by Dakis after hitting that one. Still dancing. And why not? Mga kaibigan ng Philippine Superliga po on Filipino Conference is presented by PLDT Home DSL. Limitless sharing with the family-sized connection of PLDT Home DSL, the #1 home broadband. Mary Jean Balse on deck to serve. That's 20 serving 13, and that's an ace from Balse.
Yung trend natin kasamang Chiki, pag lopsided yung count, lamang na lamang ang Generika Army. Pag dikdika naman, dun naman namamayagpag ang PLDT.
I like that observation. That has been the trend, ano?
Lamang na yung kalaban eh.
Competing against one of the best setters in the country.
That's 34 versus 21 in excellent sets. As Latigay overcooking that cross court. And ironic because they came from a timeout, Coach Roger saying, let's not commit errors. So 22 serving 13. Still Mary Jean Balse on deck to serve for the Army Lady Troopers. Free ball. Alarca, open zone 5. Wow.
10 points ahead, only 2 points away from a fifth and final set.
And when Generika, when they got set number 2, Coach Ron, it was a huge margin as well. 25-16.
Correct. Kaya nga sabi natin,
Galing na observation mo.
Nakadiin na itong Generika Army. Mula nung lumapit ang PLDT at 17-12, they've only allowed PLDT to score 1 point, while they have generated 7 points out of the last 8 rallies. From a 5-point advantage, suddenly this lead has ballooned to 11 points.
Set point here for the Army. Dakis. Oh, that was a misreception coming from Roses. And you end set number 4 with a score of 25-13 in favor of the Army Lady Troopers. We are tied at 2 apiece. We have our rubber set, our last set, coming up after this break. Fifth set, and Coach Ronnie mentioned earlier, pag dikitan po ang laban, it's PLDT's way, pero pag malaki ang lamangan, it's Generika. Carla, anong kwento mo dyan?
Be aggressive. Coach Roger told this to his team several times during the huddle. Kailangan pagtiyagan nyo at huwag ibaba ang laro nyo. They need to be braver after an error and not defeated. Know what's lacking and more importantly, manage yourselves and remember to play as a team. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Carla. Tingnan natin. It's a very short set. 1-15 lang po itong fifth and final set. So far, nakakuha ng unang point ay ang Army. Play continues. Gonzalez. They'll go to Gonzaga. Great dig there coming from Roses, but net infraction. That's right.
These early points are going to be critical for PLDT. Momentum is definitely on the side of the Generika Army Troopers. And they are trying to step on the gas and build on an early momentum, on an early lead rather, as Gonzalez is on deck to serve for the Orange Shirts.
Benting. Tuloy pa rin po. That kick is allowed. Gonzaga. Matigay was there. Great dig. Roses from the back. And we're seeing great volleyball action here. Bautista.
Tight.
Subok ulit si Benting. Bautista to the back. Pantone was there. Ayaw, bumigay nitong dalawa, coach.
Wala pang bola si Roses dito, ha?
Hindi pa nakakakuha ng magandang bigay. Bautista again. They've been going to Benting.
Oh,
Great
nice.
move from De Leon.
Alam mo, si Ruby De Leon, taas tumalon, no?
Deceiving.
Oo, pag kinakailangan, meron siya. Pero kinailangan talaga nila yung puntos na yun. They could have fallen behind at 3-0. Instead, it's 2-1 as Ruby De Leon is also on deck to serve for PLDT. That's about 6-2 in front of her.
And the wrist action, the quick wrist action of De Leon gives PLDT their first point. Ruby on deck to serve. They're down 1. Gonzalez. She likes to go to Gonzaga. Sue will go to Batman. The dynamic duo has provided the second point of PLDT.
The go-go girls checked on defense and eventually Yelay, the Batman lady. Pwede ba yun?
Bat Lady
The Bat Lady rising to the challenge
in Gotham City.
from Gotham City.
That's right. Again, on cue.
That's a delivery straight from Commissioner Gordon's desk. Beaming with pride. Just exploiting every scoring opportunity. 3 straight points sinungkit ng PLDT.
Ruby De Leon still on deck to serve. 3 serving 2, 1 point lead.
Ito yung sinasabi natin kasamang Chiki, yung first few points. Kasi
Critical.
kung hindi nasipa ni Ruby De Leon kanina at nabuhay yung bola, 3-0 na eh. Diba?
But that started it.
Yes.
Tingnan mo ngayon. You mentioned that. Coach Ronnie Ampan, kinasira ng dalawa, 4-2.
Kaya malaking bagay yung pahinga ni Ruby De Leon kanina. Si Gonzalez ang hindi pa nagpapahinga mula nung pumasok siya.
And let us remind our viewers that from set number 1, kasi may mga technical timeout po ang bawat set. Ang set 5,
Pero
wala na.
sandali lang eh, no?
Lamang palagi ang Generika.
Tama.
Gonzalez, quickly.
Oh, good hustle coming from Latigay again.
Gonzalez. They go to Gonzaga.
Look at
Latigay. Benting, going to the back. Gonzalez to Gonzaga.
Top angle.
Sue.
Not over.
And Generika Army Lady Troopers, sigh of relief as they get point number 3.
We've had 2 extended sets so far, the first and third sets. This is an unnumbered set, kasamang Chiki.
And the trending says,
Would be the sign of things to come.
we'll see. PLDT got sets 1 and 3. Generika got sets 2 and 4.
Hey, hey, hey.
But then again,
Hey, hey, hey.
this is different.
Hey, hey, hey.
However, as soon as after I said that, that point goes to PLDT service error there, I believe. 5-3 in favor of the power attackers. Soriano to the back. Gonzalez to Bautista. Sue will go to her partner, Benting.
She may be diminutive, but she packs a lot of power in that wallop. And once again, Batman rising, pushing her squad 3 points ahead of the Lady Troopers.
Soriano on deck to serve.
Terrible ang lakas. The first time I've seen in the last 5 sets na lamang ang PLDT ng ganito kaaga kasamang Chile at ng ganito kalaki.
And remember, this is only a race to 15. Not unless we go extended set once more. But Balse gives a sigh of relief naman po dito sa koponan ng Army Lady Troopers.
You can never question the hearts of champions. And these are champions in their own right. Talking about Generika.
They got the invitational conference. They got the Grand Prix in the first season.
Oh my. Roses was there, but there was too much spin on that ball for her to keep that ball alive. Net defense continues to be a major strength para dito sa Generika.
Nene Bautista on deck to serve. They're down, 5 serving 6. Benting at the net.
Oh.
Ball still alive. Bending. Going to the back. Gonzalez will go to Dakis. And we are tied at 6. Wow.
3 straight points likewise for the Lady Troopers. Now we're tied at 6 all. And Bautista on deck to serve as Roses has been very quiet here in the 5th and final set.
That's right. Superman not being felt here in set 5. Service of Bautista is in. Quick one by De Vanadera. And the lead goes back quickly to PLDT.
It was gutsy for Ruby De Leon. Roses, their Superman has been contained. But Ruby De Leon varies. Ang ganda rito ng kawit nitong si Sasa De Vanadera.
Single coverage lang from Balse. Ano?
Quiet efficiency.
Gonzalez. Quick. Chance for PLDT to get the 2-point lead, and they do behind Sue Roses.
Papahinga lang naman, sabi ni Superman.
While we're doing this change court here in set number 5, Philippine Super League, the power attackers sharing the load. We said earlier, Sue not getting her touches, but for their 8th point, that was a great attack from Sue Roses.
And Ruby De Leon seems to be fresh here in the 5th and final set kasamang Chiki. Able to clear her mind and make the right decisions as they try to go to their points of attack, which has so far puzzled itong floor defense ng Army.
Great set by Gonzalez to Gonzaga, the Go-Go Girls.
Ang ganda ng pagkakaipit dun kay Gonzaga. Hindi na markahan. That has worked for them. Bridging the last 2 sets kasamang Chiki. Chance for them to tie as Gonzaga is on deck to serve for the orange shirts.
7-8, Army still down by 1. De Leon to Sue. Great defense by Dakis. It's out. It's out. And PLDT, they're up by 2, 9-7.
Margin for error at this stage of this match is paper thin kasamang Chiki. Sapal na pero nahulog palabas.
Yung mga ganong ano, no?
Breaks
Coach
na
Ronnie.
tinatawag, di ba? Sa pectus lang nagkakatalo.
Service is good for Sue. Dakis. Latigay. Give it to Sue. It's a free ball. Going to the back. Good intention from Gonzalez. However, it's out.
Gonzalez gambled and she will lose that point. 10-7, 3-point advantage. A luxury at this stage of the match. Look at the production by Sue Roses. 16 points coming off a lead. A team best performance of 21 points in their previous match.
Oh, De Leon, you mentioned she has the hops, she has the great jump, and she has perfect timing.
That's the reason why.
Don't freeze under pressure. Nasabi ni Sargento. Because the backline defense, medyo nagpa-falter ng konti.
Yung kanilang net defense, kanilang naging susi para maitulak itong laban na ito sa 5th and final set, ay nag-dissolve amidst this points of attack na pinapakawalan ni Ruby De Leon.
Balse's attack was defended well. Dakis, free ball po tayo. De Leon. Quick one to De Vanadera. Great dig there. Dakis again.
Alanganin.
Latigay going to the back. Balse. Great dive from Pantone. Penting mula sa likod. Oh, smart move. Dakis with power. Latigay. Bautista was there. Balse. Great rally we're seeing here. Dakis with power again. Play continues. Ang mapagod dito talo.
Oh!
Yun yan. And that action is Philippine Superliga All-Filipino Conference presented by PLDT Home DSL. Limitless sharing with the family-size connection of PLDT Home DSL, the #1 home broadband. And they all looked at that hole.
Sa pagod na yun, kasamang Chiki.
Sa haba ng rally eh.
Benteng palitan yata yun eh.
And we are always almost at the distance of each set. 11-8, 3-point lead for PLDT. Gonzalez, quick one to Alarca. They'll do it again. This time to Dakis. And Generika, they're just 2 points away.
Unbelievable battle.
Ball is alive now. Latigay. That's an error by Latigay, and the Army down by 1.
Scores stood at 7, serving 11 earlier. Or 11 serving 7. Chance for PLDT to only be 3 points away from winning their second match in 3 games. Pero may last push ang Generika kasamang Chiki. Ang bigat ng lifeline, suddenly humaba.
Tingnan natin kung tuloy-tuloy itong push ng Generika. Again, we have a makings of a long rally here. Alarca defended at the net. Dakis.
Husay
Great
din
dig.
pumalo na Rachel na talaga, no?
Yung timing eh.
Look at that angle created by Sasa de Vanadera.
Dakis again. Ball still alive. Free ball. Gonzalez this time will go to Alarca.
Wow.
Gonzalez. Dakis muli.
Oh!
At the net. Ang nanalo, Generika.
4 straight points for Generika. A lot of ones in that scoreboard. 2 sets all. Tied at 11 here in the 5th and final set.
And the joust at the net went the Army's way. We are tied at 11, as Barry Pasco would put it. Lapat na lapat, 11-11. Balse on deck to serve. 4 straight points, right, Coach Ronnie?
That's correct, Chiki.
Ball's in. Here we go. De Vanadera with a quick one coming from De Leon.
We talk about audacity. And at the right place and at the right time. Sasa de Vanadera always stepping up to the plate. Once again pushing her team a point ahead of Generika Army.
And they're not even looking at each other, De Leon and De Vanadera. Gonzalez will go to Dakis. We are tied at 12.
With this down.
Uh-oh.
Will be cramping up. At sabi ni Coach Roger Goraev, Ruby, kaya mo ba o hindi?
She gave the thumbs up sign, Coach Ronnie. I saw her.
Para sabihin,
Good to go. De Leon to Latigay. Oh, and the power attackers get the lead again, 13-12.
we talk about resilience under duress.
Again, folks, Philippine Superliga, all Filipino conference presented by PLDT Home DSL. Limitless sharing with the family-sized connection of PLDT Home DSL, the #1 home broadband. And we are watching a #1 game here. Going the distance, Bautista. Gonzalez will go to Bautista again.
Tight.
Losses from the back. Great dig. Bautista pa rin. To Alarca. Oh, smart play by Benting, and they're up by 2, 14-12.
That's a miss hit coming from Gonzalez. Gonzaga was there, ready to dig. Instead, they will give up 2 match points for PLDT. They're down at 14-12.
And the Army with Coach Rico.
In this epic battle versus the Lady Troopers.
Crucial service here for Latigay. It's in. Almost an ace. And it is an ace. As PLDT finishes this off. Kanilang 5th and final set.
And eventually, it was a collective effort.